When you look back at kind of your run that you had, I guess going back to the Diva Search, I mean, what drew you first? Because you were a model first, weren't you? A model and actress. So talk to me about the journey to the Diva Search then.
Yeah, one day my modeling agent called me and he's like, Candice, I have this really weird audition for you. And then he gets really excited. It pays $100,000 and it's a 1-year contract. And it's the WWE. They're having a Diva Search contest. It's the first time they're ever doing this. And he was really excited about the money because he would get 10 or 20% if I would get the $100,000. So he wasn't so excited about if I liked the audition or not. It was just his payday. And I was like, heck yeah. And I was super excited because what he didn't know is I grew up on professional wrestling. Like
Okay.
I watched it every Monday night with my stepdad, Ken, and we watched Monday Night Raw. I went to the shows. I remember my mom yelling at us all the time about watching wrestling too loud. And I had a Hulk Hogan doll instead of a Barbie doll. So like, I thought, wow, this is so weird that it's coming full circle. And I just knew that this was right for me because when I saw wrestling and watched it, I know they call them superstars, but they were like superheroes to me. Like I never knew there was a wrestling school or you can become a wrestler. Like it just never clicked in my head that that was the possibility. Like these were like superheroes on TV. Yeah. And so now that I was actually going to be able to audition for this and it was athletic and there was some acting and some modeling, I was like, this is perfect for me. So making it to the top 10, I don't know if I was like the top 6, something around there. And when I got let go, it was so hard because I really thought like that was perfect for me. And so it was really great once that contest ended and they called me back and they offered me a 3-year contract. It was just really exciting for me.
And did you ever see at that point, were you considering I'm going to actually learn this craft and I want to become a wrestler, or what? How was it positioned to you at the time?
So, I mean, they were positioning it to me. They were saying we want to pretty up the business. That was their goal of this time of bringing models in. But for me, when I signed on the dotted line, I was becoming the champion. Like, so we had 2 different things in mind. And so it was really up to me to show up and prove myself. You know, I was lucky to be put on TV right away, you know, as I realized there were wrestling schools and indies and people kind of came up to TV in different ways. I came up from going to Hollywood and all the auditions and the acting schools and all of that kind of stuff. So just a different path, but I had to learn to wrestle. And the only time I could do that would be on the road. And that meant showing up early when the refs were setting up and getting in there with some of the refs. It meant on my off days, finding some of these indie schools that were around me. It was an 1.5-hour drive just to try to learn to wrestle. But I just loved it. And I knew it was what I wanted to do.
Did that help you in terms of the eyes of some of the more established talent in terms of being seen to be paying your dues? Because I guess this is the time where you had, you know, people coming in from Tough Enough, Hollywood writers were coming in, and you kind of got this sense that maybe there was people who had been around the industry for a long time, and then some of these newcomers were kind of coming in and getting TV time. Did it help that people could see that you were genuinely a fan and you were respectful to the business?
I think once they were seeing that, they were more in tune to helping me, you know, especially some of the big stars, you know, when they would see me in there before rolling around with the refs or learning or showing that interest. And I always respected people. It's one of the things we really learn in wrestling is just, you know, respecting the people who have paved the way for you, who bring in all the people to watch the show. And so I just had that. That was, for me, that was kind of common sense. And so when they saw us putting in the work, they really did notice that, and they would help me out. The top stars would say, hey, do this, or do it like this, or what about this? And once I was getting that feedback, I respected that. I respected their time, their energy, their willingness to come down to my level and then help me out. And so it did really pay off.